This week in Shohei Ohtani news, we're going to talk about him at the plate, as we do every single week. We're going to talk about with a little bit of an injury that he's dealing with currently that you can absolutely notice out on the field, and another increase in his throwing program. So let's start with him at the plate this week. Not great.
Not great. Like pretty low stats for Shohei Ohtani standards. But like, this is the great news for Shohei Ohtani, that he's on a great team now, that he doesn't have to be the guy every single week or the hero, and his team's still in first place.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do think just when everybody starts to think that things are bad and he's struggling and he goes to New York and he can't hit and the bright lights, just when you think he's cooling down, he hits an absolute tank in New York City. And really all hell broke loose because of that. That's when the Jorge Lopez
like what
ejection
led,
happened. And
to the crumble.
That was tough. But
the beginning of the end.
I mean, you want to talk about him cooling down. He hit 174 on the week. He did just hit a homer to the opposite field. That's his sweet spot, is hitting tanks to the opposite field. This week has lowered his statistics on the year to a 330 batting average with 14 homers and an OPS still over 1,000. He is still on pace to have by far the best offensive year of his career, hitting 330 right now. So yeah, it was a struggle at the plate for him, but don't for 1 second think when he starts cooling down, this is baseball.
Yeah.
You're not going to hit the ball hard every single day. You're going to go through ebbs and flows. This is, oh man, nobody can speak to that more than myself. I know I talk down about my baseball career often in a joking manner, but I was a pretty good baseball player. I had plenty of ups. And when you're riding that high, nobody can get in your way. Not a single pitch, not a pitcher, not a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, not a slider out of the zone, because you're taking those with ease. When things are going great, they're going great. And that's true for the contrast of that. When things are going bad, it is hard to break out of it. And the best hitters in the world, and that includes Shohei Ohtani, are going to go through it. But the best hitters get out of it quicker than guys that aren't as good or aren't as consistent. And to see Shohei with that homer in Queens against the Mets on Wednesday, yeah, to me that just says, I say this, how many times have I said this? To tell when Shohei is locking in. When things aren't going well, ground balls to second base. Rolling over, ground balls, even when hit hard, ground balls to the second baseman. When things are going well, the ball is in the air going to left field. A line drive to left center, a towering fly ball to left center. That's when you know his swing is locked in and he's staying inside the ball. That's what I saw on Wednesday in Queens. That's how I know he's breaking out of this. And next time we have this discussion next week, I promise you the numbers will be better. That is a BVG. Ben Verlander guaranteed.
Oh, we haven't had one of those in a bit.
We have not. He will have a good week. He'll hit another homer. He'll drive in a bunch of runs. He'll probably hit over 300. Not probably. It's a BVG. He's going to hit over 300.
Okay.
He'll have 2+ homers on the week.
All right.
And, I don't know, 5 or more RBIs.
Dang.
Packing a stolen base.
The thing is, though, you guys, we've seen it this year already. Shohei Ohtani is not fazed by anything. He came into this year in a new team, in a new city, with a crazy situation happening with the, what are we calling it now? The theft scandal, gambling scandal,
theft.
From his best friend.
Scandal.
And he's still having the best start offensively to his career. Adam Wainwright was on The Herd Thursday morning, and he was talking about this list that Shohei Ohtani made when he was a kid. And he had every single year of his major league career mapped out of what he was going to do. I'm going to win a Cy Young this year. I'm going to win an MVP this year. I'm going to win this year. And when you have that kind of mentality at 10 years old, when you're in this situation right now and stuff's not going your way, you're going to be fine because you have mentally prepared for this moment your entire life.
Yeah.
And we're seeing this.
You know, it's exactly what I just said with the struggles and going through it. When I struggled, my thought would be, oh man, am I ever going to get a hit again? Am I going to get released because I'm not playing well? When Shohei struggles, as in goes through like 5 games of struggling a bit, he has his career is predestined. Yeah. He knows what's happening. He has everything mapped out. He knows how good he is. He knows how good he can be. And yeah, there's going to be ebbs and flows throughout a career, throughout a season. And he knows it's going to get turned around because of course it does.
Yeah. Oh, and also he's dealing with a hamstring contusion through all of this. So he's wearing what they said, it's a governor that monitors how fast that he's running.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can honestly see this. I didn't know this was the case until this came out, but this was the tweet. Shohei Ohtani has been nursing a hamstring contusion in the last week. He's been running with a governor. He was not going full speed on his triple tonight, but Roberts didn't make it sound like a huge deal. That's actually when I noticed it. He had a triple down the right field line.
Casual.
And was the most casual triple you'll see. And I was like, Shohei, you should probably
like you're also like one of the fastest guys in the league.
And he just was casual. It was kind of just going just going.
Jogging.
And that's why. It's because he is wearing something that kind of controls how fast he's running.
Yeah.
And so he's dealing with a little bit of something. He's wearing a guard to protect that and protect how fast he's running, which is honestly crazy, but you can't afford to have him out of the lineup. So he keeps on going out there and hitting homers on Wednesday. And crazy to see that though. When that came out,
Makes sense.
I know he doesn't normally run like that.
No, he's given 110 always.
Doesn't normally just mail it in and think he's coasting. So
yeah, he did. It was a nice wee. Oh. That was scary, though, the landing. I was like, his hand. That was like the first thing I thought about. Like, no more injuries, please. We got the contusion. Obviously, he's coming back from the elbow surgery. But the good news there is his throwing program has also increased. So there's so many things this man is dealing with and still doing incredible.
Yep. Throwing program increases again. Things are going as planned, according to plan. Again, the plan is for him to pitch next year. And he continues to ramp up to that. And, their pitching coach, Mark Pryor, recently said by playoffs, Ohtani is facing live hitters MVP. That is the plan. So now we're seeing him basically throwing like flat grounds, which is cool to see. So, throwing a lot, throwing harder, backing up a little bit, throwing flat grounds. Things are good in the world of Shohei Ohtani's right arm and right elbow. So, not the best week offensively. His 2024 season statistics at the plate are still remarkable, still leading Major League Baseball in slugging and in total bases. And that does it, my friends, for my favorite segment this week in Shohei Ohtani news. Thanks for watching. If you like catching up on the latest news around Major League Baseball, weekly interviews with Atlanta Braves legend John Smoltz and your favorite MLB players, make sure you hit that subscribe button.